Hi, Karen with you today. Thank you so much for joining me. I have a scrapbook layout for Kitaholic Kits and I'm using the August 2022 kit. And my layout today was completely and utterly inspired by this gorgeous pattern paper with Bo Bunny. All I saw when I saw this pattern paper was a rainbow. I couldn't get past it. It was absolutely what I was going to create on the page. So to do that, I'm just getting my pencil and I'm doing a rough arc across this pattern paper. I want to make sure that I'm featuring all of the colours that are across this page. So the arc's a little bit of an odd shape. And when I finished cutting this out, I thought, what have I done? This isn't going to be right. But I'm going to stick with it. So I want you to stick with me and see what I do with this one because it does look a bit odd right now. I'll admit I was thinking, no, this might not work. So as you can see, I'm thinking, well, maybe I need to do a different way of using this pattern paper. But then I go back to my arc. I'm determined. I want to get in my mind's eye. I've got an idea and I want to see if I can achieve it. So with my arc, I am distressing my edges with my distress tool and I'm also going to rough up the edges with my fingers as well because I want that to be able to have quite a bit of dimension as it sits across the page. And every rainbow page needs a sky. So I'm going to incorporate some clouds to my layout today and I'm also going to incorporate a beautiful blue sky. So to create my clouds, I have some cutouts from previous cut files that I have used in the past with other layouts for design teams and all sorts of things. I have a box sitting on my desk of all the insides of cut files that I can use as templates because I'm a terrible hand drawer, freehand drawer. So I love having some sort of template that I can use. So I have circles and squares and all sorts of shapes. So I've just just traced around the edges and fussy cutting those out. I'm just using some plain white cardstock for these and I'm going to do a little bit of work to them as well. So I'm looking at this point at this stage going, it's going to be it's going to be a horizontal layout. Those clouds are going to feature, but I really want to see what it's going to look like with my blue sky. So I have pre-gessoed my white cardstock and with my the blue ink that I'm using here for my layout is one of the new distress colors in the Uncharted Mariner, and it is absolutely stunning. I was a bit doubtful when I first got it. I was thinking, not sure whether I like this or not, but once I started using it, I mean, look at that blue. It is a beautiful sea blue. It doesn't have an aqua tone, so it's very much a blue backed color, and it is just stunning. Now, at the time of me recording this, there are still some stock in store. If there isn't and you really want to get it, please reach out to the Kitaholics team and they will order it in for you. I can strongly recommend this color. It is absolutely stunning. So to create my water wash here on the page, I just literally scraped over the ink across the page, added a heap of clean water, and then I'm just roaming it around the page. I go in with my brush just to soften the edges, moving it around. And as a side thing, I'll just describe to you what it can do when you don't use gesso. If you'd notice, there's a piece on the right-hand side that's a little bit dark. That is a piece where I obviously missed putting gesso on my white cardstock. And so when the ink hit that, it went straight and absolutely will not blend and move around the page. So you'll see that section there. It's quite dark. It didn't bother me because I knew I'd probably cover that section up. But that's why I like using gesso. So it allows you got time to move the ink around or the watercolor or whatever paint you're using. So when you don't use that, it will soak through to the paper really, really quickly. All right, so my clouds are getting a little bit of attention. And firstly, I have distressed the edges with my distress tool and my fingers as well. And now I want to give them some shine. So deep in the depths of my stash, I have some Nouveau Mousse in this silvery color. Now, it is dried out and looks terrible, but I didn't care. I knew that if I smooshed it enough, I could give this some lovely rough coating across the edges, and then I also go into the insides of the clouds as well, and it gives a really lovely shine to the clouds. So it didn't matter that this mousse, I really probably should throw it away, but it was perfect for these. So lovely, lovely shine that I got on those clouds. So now at this stage, I'm thinking, okay, I'm all right with this, I think. I'm loving how, as the watercolor was drying, I'm loving all those little rivets and little sections of the watercolor. And then I'm adding in some white splatters with my Dina Wakley white gloss spray. That is definitely one of my favorites because it absolutely keeps a true white color, and it sort of sits on top of the page. It doesn't soak through, which is wonderful. So I'm sticking down by rainbow. I've decided this is what I'm doing. I'm having my rainbow, even though that arc looks ridiculous and crazy. I don't care. I'm going to be able to cover some of that up, and I'm starting to really think that I'm going to really love how this is turning out. So I stuck down the arc straight down onto the paper. I have not put any foam underneath that pattern paper piece, but I have put foam underneath the clouds because I really wanted some dimension on the page. And it makes it feel like those fluffy clouds are floating in the sky. So I'm backing my photo today, and I'm using a whole heap of the tags that were in our ephemera pieces as part of our kit this month. I have absolutely challenged myself to use as many of these tags as possible, and I really love how I've done this. What I decided to do was, instead of just using sort of one block color, all of my layout today is all going to relate back to the rainbow. So the tags that I've used are all colors that are within the rainbow. So I've used a yellow, a green, a little bit of a pink, and all that sort of stuff, just to make sure. I just want everything to tie back into that rainbow for cohesiveness. And while I was doing that, I realized I wanted some more mixed media. I wasn't done with my background. I wanted to add in some white splatters on top of the pattern paper. I feel like that just lifts the page. And then I wanted to add some of the blue splatters as well. So to do that, I've just tapped down my ink onto my messy mat there and added some water, and then just sprinkled that around the page as well. And I'm really, really starting to think, yep, this is what I wanted. That dimension's on the page. I'm really happy with that. Really happy with this cluster that I'm starting to build here with my layout. And I have popped my photo with my cluster there up on foam. And I did just staple that all together. I didn't, it was really simple, just a way to do that. And I've used some foam squares. I've actually run out of my craft foam. I need a trip to Spotlight, so I must fix that any day now. And then with my florals here, with my clusters, I'm just adding a floral cluster that's going to flow around the page. And again, I'm using the colors that are within the rainbow, with an added bonus of adding in a little bit of shine with some of the flowers from the gold foil flowers that we got as well. And it's at this point I've really felt that the clouds needed something a little bit more. As much as they were popping off the page, I felt that they didn't have enough definition. And then I remembered that we had the Nouveau drops in a previous mixed media kit a couple of months ago, and that gorgeous silvery grey colour, and I thought that would be perfect to actually add some definition around the edges. So I'm just popping that around all the edges of the clouds, and I love how that turned out. It gave that real definition across those clouds. So I'm pretty much using every component of the kit for this layout for this time. So I'm using some of the stickers from the Pink Fresh Studio sticker sheet. Now they were a little bit tricky to sort of tie in. Those phrases are very much, I feel like they're COVID related, or they're a little bit home related, but a couple of the sayings were perfect for what I was trying to do for this layout. And I've just dropped my microphone, so I'm sorry about that. And then my title today is all has been created by some letters that I had in my stash. I found these ones and they were perfect for matching and toning back into the rainbow. So my title today, I'm just calling it Sunset Dreams. And like I said, these tone right back with the colours of the rainbow. And I couldn't quite get it to nestle for the word to be in one straight line. And I thought, seeing it's an even number, I could stack the letters on top of each other and you can still read it. So I was happy with that. So then to finish off my clustering and all that sort of stuff, I do add in some more flowers because I wanted to, and some of the stars from the ephemera pack as well, because I wanted to make sure, like I mentioned before, that all the colours of the rainbow were incorporated into my flowing cluster across the page. And I then add in some of, what am I doing now? I was just extending my mixed media just down a little bit. I just added some water and was able to extend that just a little bit further down the page. Oh, I should mention, I don't think I've mentioned yet, I will leave in the description box below all the details on where you can purchase the kit, and where you can find out how you can also subscribe to get these wonderful kits delivered to your door every month. We also have a private subscriber group where we all catch up. We have extra competitions through the month. We have challenges, and we also have exclusives every month that the design team pull through to everybody as well. And you also get access to exclusive cut files and printables as well every month as part of your subscription. And all the details will be at the store as well. So once I was starting to finish off, I felt that the bottom of the layout just needed a little bit of something just to tie it in so that the page was complete. So I'm just adding in just a little cluster down on the bottom. I'm using a bit of an arc shape again from that pattern paper, and adding a couple of flowers and some tag pieces as well. And I finish off with some of the puffy stickers. I pop some puffy stickers under the Dreams title. And I also, you'll see there that I've added in some cut file leaves. I just felt that I needed a little bit more bulkiness to the page. And they are just from my stash. I have random cut files that have been cut and that I've used parts of over the time. So I was lucky enough I had some that were pre-cut. So I've just added that into the clusters as well. To finish off, I added in a few more splatters. For the blue splatters, I wanted them to be a little bit finer. So I'm using my fan brush for those. And again, I just smushed down the ink pad to my messy mat and added some water. I also added some white splatters just to finish everything off as well. So like I said, I think this works. I really like how this one turned out. I was a bit unsure, but I've got some close-ups to share with you. And as always, I want to thank you for joining me today. I really appreciate all the encouragement and all your comments and well wishes as I progress with my YouTube channel. And I will see you next time. Bye for now.